What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What is up, guys? I'm David.
I'm Connor.
I'm Sterling. What's up?
What's going on with y'all? Everybody back in the house?
Yep. Back in, man.
First time Sterling been back in here since he got married.
I know. Over a month now. That's pretty sad, isn't it?
You feel like an old married man again?
Old married man. Yeah, just like the song, you know. But no, it's been good, man. It's been crazy, busy, really busy since the 16th of September. With work and baseball and you name it, we've been going. So glad to be back finally, for sure.
Good deal. What about you, Connor? What you been up to?
Not a whole lot. Schoolwork, doing some stuff there, going to some of the football games, and
what are you doing? Running camera stuff?
yeah, I do the film for them. So they watch film on Holt or whatever. So I video the play by play, so that way you don't have to scroll through. But yeah, yep, doing a little bit of that, messing around with some race cars.
Cameraman. Glad we got a cameraman.
That's cool.
How
they playing
two more games
this year?
Well, no, they started off kind of rough. They came back. I think they're like 6-4, which it ain't bad considering it's supposed to be kind of a rebuilding year.
That's right. Sweet.
They'll be in the playoffs here. We'll see how far they go.
I
A
think
couple
you
weeks.
play football, Connor. I think that's what
I did for 9th and 10th grade, and then
gave that up.
I honestly, if I could just play the games, I definitely would. It's so crazy,
That's a lifestyle.
Yeah, you got it 3 hours a
practice.
day, and if you don't really love it that much, it's hard to do.
Sterling knows right now.
yeah.
I know all about it.
But baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. I still enjoy it for sure. But I didn't have the bill to do it either, so I just kind of I figured I'd focus on something else.
Yeah, that's what I told Cole. Like, dude, you are not. He wants to play football. I'm like,
He might all of a sudden shoot up. You never know.
Well, you can do that.
I mean,
Bro,
there ain't
he
much
got to
chance
shoot
of
up
it,
a
but
long way, bro. Like,
you can play in.
Landon's talking about now wanting to go out football next year.
I mean, he could do it.
Yeah.
I think he could do it.
It was fun, 6th, 7th, 8th grade when everybody was kind of the same size.
If
But
he
then
keeps on
everybody got
growing,
bigger.
he gonna.
Well, I don't know, but Cole's got people that's double his size.
Oh, yes.
So, I mean,
Oh,
like,
yes.
I'm like, dude, you gonna get hit one time, you gonna be out, bro.
Done for.
Play some flag football.
Yeah, but speaking of school, before I forget, I heard that the volleyball was doing well.
Yep, they play for the
State, right?
like tomorrow night. Yep,
Sweet,
They're
That's
doing well, and I think
Kings is
also
they're in a different.
they're in the
right.
2A or whatever.
Right.
But yeah,
That's right. Yeah, that's awesome. Good to hear that from both.
To Florence
That's right.
private schools do.
The volleyball is where it's at.
Do you know South Florence has apparently volleyball got really popular because South Florence has a boys volleyball team this year.
I didn't know that. I know somebody on it.
Yeah.
He goes
I
to
didn't
church.
know that. I told Landon, I was
I
like,
didn't know that was a thing.
man, it wasn't until this year. I was like,
I mean, anywhere.
go play volleyball.
Yeah, he could do that. He gets to be front line man.
I'm
over
telling
there.
you.
He knock him down.
I love some volleyball when I was younger. I don't know why. It was one of them things. My neighbors, for whatever reason, right at Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving Day, they always got out. They had a big old family and stuff. Got out, played volleyball on Thanksgiving. I'd go over there with them.
I enjoy it. I play it once a year at youth camp, and then I don't play it
Kinda
again
same
until
as
next
me.
July.
Yeah, I've never been too good at volleyball. I like to playing on the beach, though. That's fun. The beach or sand.
Yeah, that's all
Volleyball.
it is that we do.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'd probably die. I'd twist my ankle, break my knee or something in the
Probably.
sand.
You know I would because
I know. I know you
I
would.
hold it all. But just do it all. So, but yeah, that's cool.
Well, I had a wedding Saturday night. Buddy of ours from church, River Norton, Pastor Mike Norton's son. He got married, so me and Landon and my nephew TJ went and DJ'd it.
Sweet. How was it?
It was good, quick.
Well, that's good. That's always the
That's
bonus.
kinda-
It was wonderful. No, I mean they had fun. I mean they did everything they wanted to do. And wedding started at 5:00. Got through the ceremony. Mac preached it. And they went straight into everything else. And I was pulling back out onto the highway at 8:40.
There you go.
I think that's a record. I think that was a record.
That's different and quick, bro. That's,
I told you it was
that's
quick.
like, by the time you get unloaded, it's time to load back up. That's cool. How was the venue? Was it pretty neat?
It was
Cool
very
place?
nice. Well, it's actually Sawtooth Acres, which Mike owns himself.
Oh, okay.
And might be going to do some more business with them out there. So, trying to set some stuff up with them out there.
Sweet.
And but it's super nice. It was a little building they kind of built out there a few years ago. It was just a big, but it's got a big, nice, kind of swampy pond. very pretty pond, but it's got a lot of trees growing up around the sides of it and stuff. So look like and they have said there's a big old bass in there.
Oh, I bet so.
And so, but they didn't. He's going to build a place down by the water for him to get married at. But they built a big old concrete pad. I don't know, probably about 2 times the length of the shop, maybe as wide, maybe a little wider. That's where the ceremony was on, up under a big old oak tree right at the very end of it.
Sweet.
But that also, as soon as the ceremony's over, they got another place for them to go eat, kind of behind the building, and then they take up all the chairs, and right there is where the reception is also.
Okay.
So, being to have one set up,
that was nice.
and was out of there by then.
You
it was wonderful.
One setup. Yeah.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
It was great. It was nice wedding, very pretty wedding, very cool. So
good deal.
Liked it a lot. But Landon and TJ are wanting to
take over
and then do stuff. I said, well, I'll set y'all up for this because we might be getting some stuff. Just be a sole DJ for that venue.
That'd be perfect.
Leave everything there.
That's right.
Let them go for it.
Nice.
Good little gig.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Gas money. They got to be driving here shortly. So.
Well, TJ already is.
Yeah.
Won't be long for Landon.
That's right.
Hush your mouth.
It's hard to believe, man.
Hush your mouth. Well, we got a little bit of news to talk about this week in racing. There's a lot of stuff went on this week. But I want to go back to last week. And I guess I can say I kind of had a hand in this, whatever. Ended up at Dillon Motor Speedway last week. I didn't really know this was going to be public, but they put it out public. They did, and the track did. We did a Cobra racing tire test for the Legend cars. And I've been in talks with them for a couple months now, and they're bringing this tire in. They wanted to try to get into the Legend market, want to try to get into a little more in the 4-cylinder stuff. They've been running a lot of late model stuff for a year or two now, I think. Mm-hmm. And tires have been doing super good because what they did, they got in it when, Hoosier nobody could get tires.
Right.
So they got in it, could get tires. Well, there's a bunch of tracks for whatever reason in Michigan, up around that area, running their tires. And there's guys winning races on 6-race-old tires in a late model.
Dang.
So it was like, well, they're lasting, that's for sure. And they got speed, apparently. So I was like, well, let's see. I reached out to them, and they said, yes, let's line up a test, and we're getting these tires this day. Not our full shipment, but we got some tires coming in. They had a few more tests coming up, and they tested same exact tires on some 4-cylinder type cars. Had successful tests with them, brought them over to Dillon Motor Speedway. We had a brand new set to test, and you talk about fast. We went from, last Saturday, a week ago, I think, let's just use Dennis for example.
Yeah.
Dennis Brown was out there.
I'd say fastest lap was about 1850.
Yeah.
That you could run consistently.
Exactly. Well, he got out there. Connor was timing him, so he got out. What'd you think about it out there?
I had to double check. I pulled that first clock
Did
and
I hit the button too soon?
1780. I was like, what? And then backed it up, and I think it got to a 70 a couple times. And wow, I mean, it looked like you couldn't do any wrong.
No, it could have got way faster too.
Oh yeah, I feel like
that was with zero setup.
Yeah, zero setup, barely.
Just bolted them on from the other ones. They're a little bit smaller than the other tires we got. He was killing the rev limiter.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
a little bit of setup, and
that's why I said. I mean,
that's already as fast as a Charger pole lap, which is crazy for a Legend car.
So went very well. We'll see what is to come in the future there with them. We spent all day out there, pretty much. Well, about half the day.
So what is that going to mean for INEX sanctioned track? They won't be able to run them there, right?
Well, in saying that, I don't know if I'm supposed to put this out there or not, but maybe I won't mention the track name. There was a track that called our Cobra guy there, Todd. There was a track that called him while we were there. and said that in their INEX agreement for 2024, because they could not get Hoosiers, they were allowing them to run the Cobras.
Okay.
On Legends.
Yeah.
Hey.
So,
which is very surprising. That's very out of character for INEX to do that.
Well, I think it's just got to the point that
Hoosier can't supply them. You just
can't supply them.
Or struggle in somewhere, break down in the supply chain somewhere.
That, and I think they see, there were so many people, because there was a ton of people. You looked on Facebook every day, and there was somebody selling out their whole deal and that's what they said, just tired of struggling to find tires and be competitive.
Wow.
So,
how about the price point on them? Do y'all know that yet?
Cheaper.
Good.
Cheaper than
slightly
cheaper and lasts a lot longer. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I just don't understand.
I'm not
and faster. Like what?
I'm not seeing the
where's the
downside
negative
personally. Now faster, that can be perceived one or two ways. Faster's not always a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not in competition.
They were almost a little too fast, but I mean,
maybe we need a gear rule over there. I don't know.
A gear rule or
add weight.
Add
that's
weight.
what I'm saying. There's not a whole lot.
I think we can. I think there's some room if we run those tires to move up on weight. Yeah. Personally, I mean that stinks for you.
I just want to
add a pile of more weight to your car. Won't hurt me, but I mean, just to get them down to a
maybe low 18s or something. I mean, they're gonna be faster. They're just a faster tire. I really just happy for something that'll last longer.
Me too. Well,
the Hoosier to me is not a bad tire. It's just availability, price.
That's what I was
really what kills it. If it was a more affordable, it'd be great.
I just am. I am hoping for something that is available.
Nope.
Yes, price point too, but available, because we literally fought for 2 years to get us one set each of Hoosier tires.
I mean, is the is there a problem with getting the tire, or there's a problem with releasing the tire?
We don't know. We're not in that. I don't know. All I know is there were certain people that talked to certain people, and all of a sudden, certain other people said, "We'll have your tires at the track next week."
Well, I mean, it just
I think Hoosier just doesn't quite have enough to supply all their tracks, and so they outsource them, and just it doesn't.
But, I mean,
it don't work out.
And
I think what happens is there's not enough tires. There's not enough overall.
But I think the supply is not the main issue, because they've caught up on everything else.
But that's what I was going to say. Is I don't think there's enough overall to just let everybody have what they want to have. And so the ones who are dealing the tire are kind of holding back on what they're giving out, I think. Right. I'm just speculating that. I don't know that. I don't know that anybody. So I'm just speculating that. So we'll see. We will find out shortly what all it's about. Hopefully, we will definitely.
Just run Cobras on the rights and Hoosiers on the lefts.
That's what I say. Cobras and Hoosiers.
It's like those sprint cars. They'll have like 4 different compounds and 4 different sizes for each corner.
They love it. All right. Well, we will let everybody know about the whole tire situation as it evolves, I guess.
That's right.
But ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the show here the man, one of the gentlemen behind the Nostalgia Dirt series, Mr. Mark Holt. What's going on, buddy?
Hey guys, how are you today?
Doing wonderful, man. Doing wonderful for a Monday,
Sweet.
I reckon.
I love the shop, man. That's cool. I got race cars in there and all kinds of good stuff.
Well, the shop is kind of a mess right now, actually.
Oh, no.
And I've talked about it a little bit on here. We actually built a new race shop next to us. And I think we're probably going to move the podcast in there eventually. So it'll look pretty cool in there. We got some cool stuff going to go up in there. So it'll be kind of a cool scene, I guess.
Sweet.
We'll see.
We're in the process of moving our restoration shop, and man, it just makes for a nightmare because you don't know where to put stuff, and then you lose stuff, and oh yeah.
I saw some of y'all's videos, man, of y'all tearing walls out and everything else, getting ready to do it big.
Yeah. Well, my little brother, the wizard, he's getting the itch to work on race cars. He's been working on walls and stuff like that, so he's been kind of grumpy every day, wanting to get back to start restoring the race cars again.
Gotta love it. Well, man, we got you on here. We want to talk about a few things, but we just mentioned the Nostalgia Dirt series. man, give us a little bit of info about that, and about how y'all came up with it and all that fun stuff.
You bet. Well, first I want to say it's a great honor to be a part of your show. You guys are amazing. You do a great job. So what an honor it is to be a part of your show today. Thank you for inviting us. So my brother and I have been racing for 30 plus years in competition. We've raced late models, modified stock cars, you name it. We've raced it and enjoyed it the whole way along. But then it got to be the new generation of drivers wants to drive through you instead of around you. And so the very last time I had my modified out, I bought 4 brand new tires and 4 brand new rims. And at the end of the night, I didn't have a straight rim or a good tire to save my life with.
Gotta love it.
And so we just kind of quit racing for a while. But I've always enjoyed my dad and my uncle and my grandfather had a race team, and they raced 55, 56, and 57 Chevrolets. And, I grew up with the pictures all over the house of my dad and everybody. And we kind of thought, wouldn't it be cool to just replicate that and have a car to play around with? And so that's kind of how it all got started. And we developed a club called the North Iowa Vintage Racing Club, and we raced it around North Iowa and southern Minnesota. We built up to like 20 people just out having fun, building these old race cars and stuff. I kind of put the fun back in racing again.
There you go.
And so that transformed into I wanted to do this full time. I enjoyed it so much, and so we developed the Nostalgia Dirt series, and kind of have a cause behind it. Keeping racing history alive is our big thing. It's one of our ministries is to honor our servicemen and women. We do interviews and stuff like that. Without them, man, fighting for our freedoms, it's awesome. And we picked up another cause for organ donor awareness. That's hit kind of close to home. So we like to use our series as awareness for our ministries too.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, man, I love to watch y'all's videos and watch your brother, the Wizard there. Y'all love them old cars, man. And I love watching it because those cars that, quite frankly, obviously they're just not making anymore. So,
right.
So you got to keep them alive somehow, and y'all do a great job with them, man.
Well, it's just it touches my heart to have the families come in. Some of these tribute cars that we build, or some of these cars that we bring back to life again, and it just does my heart good to hear the memories about somebody that's passed away and what cool people they were and how they lived their lives. And it's not just a rusty old car. It's a life somebody actually lived, and just that's what it's all about. It's just really cool.
Yeah, man, it really is. We get the fortune around here to see the Bell and Bell series around here, the vintage series. Yes. And I know y'all are y'all kind of hooked up with them guys and kind of got something cool coming up, man.
You bet. Philip Philwood is one amazing individual. It's an honor to work with him and Bell, and then the Lakeview Speedway, Scott Tripp. You couldn't ask for a better track owner. That guy's he helps out people and very open-minded and stuff like that. And we consider, even though we're in Mason City, Iowa, we consider Lakeview Speedway like a home track. Awesome. And so a couple years ago, Ben and I just got invited to a race at Lakeview. It was a nostalgia race, and Lori Fallis put it on. And we had the time of our life. This Iowa boy's never seen an ocean other than television. So I was at Myrtle Beach, and I was just standing on the beach with my mouth hanging open, And we went to Darlington Raceway, and I've never seen a NASCAR track except for on television.
Oh wow!
And then to race at that amazing Lakeview Speedway, that half-mile clay track, I'll never forget those memories. And so the chance came up. Scott said, "Hey, Lori's not interested in doing this anymore. Would you be interested? I see you do a lot with the Nostalgia Dirt Series. Would you be interested in trying to put something together? And so here we are, and we're going to make this an annual event. So it's just going to grow. Just getting a bunch of guys together from all over the world, all over the United States. We network with people in Australia and all over the United States, Canada, and stuff like that. And it's cool to see the different views of nostalgia racing.
Well, man, you just hit on it there, obviously. The Lakeview Speedway this weekend, you got 3 days of events going on, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. You got a rundown there of what all's going on, buddy?
You bet. Thursday will be open track time for anybody that wants to come and get used to the track or see what their car's doing. So it'll just be open track time. Friday is going to be qualifying. And then we had a thing come up where not everybody can make qualifying. So we're going to have a quick qualifying session on Saturday as well, plus the races. We're going to do a tribute to veterans and just nostalgia cars. And then they're having some smaller tuner cars there as well.
Nice.
So it's just going to be a great time to come out and watch a lot of good racing.
Nice. I love it. Man, we talk about, vintage cars and what people think of when I was reading on there. Y'all got actually a few different classes kind of that y'all actually run. Give us some examples of some of the types of cars people are going to see out there.
Sure. Well, around Iowa, we have two classes of nostalgia cars, and one is the super stock class, and that is more of a modern day vintage car. That's where you can take a late model or a modified or whatever you got, put an old body on and go racing. And the sky's the limit for engine size or whatever. And some people like that. And then we have the stock class, and that class is basically the older cars, more of a stock frame and coil springs and stuff like that. And more of a stock engine, lower horsepower engine and stuff. And then around South Carolina, they have this modified division where it's like a old coupe body on a late model or something like that.
And let me tell you real fast, there's a couple of those out there that fly. Absolutely.
Yeah, they
fly.
do. I know. I brought a 52 Studebaker to race with them the last time we went up there, and I couldn't keep up with hardly nobody.
Dudes are fast out there. It is
yeah,
insane.
they are. We had a blast, though. It's like I said, it's just really, it's just really neat to see. I've talked to a couple guys of vintage cars in Australia, and it's just really neat to see the views of how people look at nostalgia cars and just the difference from South Carolina to Iowa. It's more the super modifieds and stuff like that. And around here, it's more the full-bodied stock cars with the regular frames and the coil springs and stuff like that. So it's just really interesting to hear the different views of nostalgia racing.
Well, man, I'm gonna have to. I'm definitely gonna have to one of these years. I tried this year, honestly, but I'm gonna have to try to get into one of them one time when y'all come to a race over here, just to have some fun with you guys. I mean, let's go.
Yes, definitely.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Well, man, y'all have a big following on social media. Any of our people out there listening, tell them how to get in touch or just follow you guys and watch what y'all are doing.
Sure. Well, we have we have two Facebook pages. One is Holt Brothers Nostalgia Dirt Series, and the other one is Nostalgia Dirt Series. And then we also have a YouTube page of Nostalgia Dirt Series. And so you can follow us on there. Once we get our shop moved and built, which is just about completed, I told him to hurry up. We got videos to start making. We're going to resume restoring old cars and doing tribute builds and different stuff like that. So really excited about the future. We're also working with other clubs around the series around the United States. There's a big race in Pennsylvania called Rumble in the Valley, Jim Kirkwood. Nice. And it's just a huge event. And so what we're trying to do is sometimes the mentality is the racer mentality where you've got to compete. And so us different racing series, we're trying to work together to grow vintage racing. Instead of competing, I can do this better than you, or whatever, bigger
That's right.
purses. It's working together to help grow nostalgia racing around the world. In fact, when I first started, I was all by myself, and my dream was to be NASCAR big someday in the nostalgia world. So
There you go. There you go.
Gotta have a dream, right?
That's right. Exactly. Me and Connor were laughing the other week. We were at Dillon Motor Speedway. I don't know. It's probably been a month ago. And the vintage class that was out there is what they call it over there. It used to always be a class everybody kind of rode. I mean, they raced a little bit, but they more rode because the cars looked nice. They didn't want to hurt them. The other week, I think they wrecked more than anybody out there because they were racing so hard.
It was intense.
It was very intense. And I was like, man, these guys aren't just riding around out here for show anymore. No. These guys are racing hard.
Oh, no. Over the years, it's just typical racing. When something gets started, it progresses into out of control. Pretty soon we'll be putting restrictor plates on and all that kind of stuff. I don't know.
well, actually, yeah, that's exactly what it was said around here the other day, actually, because they were so fast over there.
Right.
So, man, that's so cool. That's so cool. Well, man, I'm gonna tell everybody out there, if you want to watch some cool videos, please go check out the Nostalgia Dirt series, especially on their Facebook page. I love watching and seeing what kind of projects y'all got going on. I know y'all fixing the shop and trying to finish the shop. Any car work going on around there right now?
Well, we got a build that we'd started. A legend around here. His name was Dave Noble. He's passed away, and we were trying to get his Camaro restored to put back on the racetrack, but it's too far gone. So we're getting it ready for the museum. We got an Ag and Performance Museum in Algona, Iowa around here. Huge, $10 million museum.
Nice.
And so we got to get that car finished up to get put in the museum. And then a childhood, when the Wizard was little, he's not little anymore. He's kind of chubby. I can say that because he's not here. When he was 8 years old, there was this 57 Chevy that raced at our local track, and he raced with all the modern metric cars, and he kicked their butt. It's so cool to see. Well, anyway, when Ben was 8 years old, that gentleman put Ben in that car, and we actually owned that car now.
Oh, wow.
We found it in a horse pasture in Doherty, Iowa. And so we're putting that car back to exactly the way it was when the Wizard was 8 years old. And the gentleman that drove it and won the championships, he's going to go back to driving it in the vintage class again.
Oh, wow.
So
awesome.
Those are two cool builds that we got coming out.
That's great, man. Well, cool, buddy. Well, man, I know unfortunately you're not gonna be able to make it down this week, but man, I'll be glad when you can, and we can meet up. And but regardless, everybody head out to Lakeview Speedway this weekend. You're gonna see some great nostalgia racing out there. It's gonna feel like you're sitting back in 1960 watching a race, which is gonna be absolutely wonderful. Man, and I appreciate all your hard work and helping putting it on and making it happen, man.
You bet. Well, you guys keep doing what you do because you're very appreciated and very needed. You guys are amazing, and just appreciate you being on and sharing what you know and stuff like that. And we definitely want to aid you guys and help you guys grow as well. Keep doing what you're doing.
Well, we sure appreciate it, buddy, and appreciate you coming on with us tonight, and appreciate everything y'all doing. They're also hooked up with our buddies from Bubba's About Broke podcast.
Oh, yeah, fire that mother up.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Melvin, he's infectious.
He is. That's how I answer the phone every time he calls now. So
yeah, every once in a while I'll send him a text message like that, just randomly. So
it's great. Yeah. All right, Mark, we sure appreciate you, man, and we will be catching up with you soon, buddy.
Yes, sir. Keep in touch. It's good to talk to y'all.
You too, buddy. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mark Holt from the Nostalgia Dirt series. Like I said, they will be over at Lakeview Motor Speedway this weekend, along with the Bell and Bell Vintage Series, all the vintage guys around here breaking out all the old race cars. And like I said, it's going to look like you sitting at a dirt track in
back
1960.
In the day.
And man, I wish, I don't know, they might be. I hadn't really, but it would be so cool if everybody would look like the throwback race at Darlington where they
Yep.
wear the old style suits. I mean, just really go in this
Into it,
thing,
yeah.
Do it right. That's
do it,
right.
do it up big, and that would be cool. That'd be cool. So if y'all are in the area, head over to Lakeview Speedway this weekend. Watch some good racing over there. So anyway, all right. Well, what else we got here?
Well, one thing I want to ask you about. Did you see what this actually happened last Sunday at the Winchester 400?
Oh yes. We
That
need to
was
talk about that. We need to talk about that chain of events that happened there. I guess I'll preface it a little bit. If anybody hadn't seen it, Winchester 400. Stephen Nasse was, I think he was out front. Yeah,
Him and Rosario.
him and Ruggiero were
It was like a late race restart.
right.
4 to go.
And I think Nasse had to lead before it.
Did he?
Yeah, I think he had to lead, but he chose the outside. And Ruggiero did it pretty much exactly what that track.
It kind of looked like Darlington the way
It
you enter
does.
turn
I
one.
mean,
You
that's
come down and then drift up to the wall.
You got to run it up to the wall. That's just how that track runs. And Ruggiero did, to me, he didn't look like an egregious slam him into the wall or anything.
He kind of ran out of room and used him up a little bit.
Right, he used him up, but that late in a big race like that, I can't fault the man for doing it. Now, if the man gets to your back bumper after that, it's fair game at that
Fair
point.
game, yeah.
I mean,
better hang on.
exactly, and that's what I'm saying. So I don't disagree with that. But we all know Stephen Nasse. Stephen Nasse did not appreciate this move whatsoever. But I don't know what was worse, if anybody didn't see it. First of all, Ruggiero wins the race, pulls up, Gio Ruggiero. He pulls up kind of to the start-finish line, and somebody's saying something at his window. Well, by the time Stephen Nasse pulls up behind him. Well, then Gio decides he's going to do a donut. Well, when he goes to do the donut, the guy that's standing beside the car is still there. And he just launches him almost to the inside wall. He clips
Oh, my
him and
God.
just cuts him a flip. He was okay, but about this time,
Well, that was Nasse's dad.
was that Nasse's dad?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I just knew whoever was at the window.
No, that was his dad.
This makes it worse.
This makes
Okay.
it way worse.
This makes it way worse. I don't necessarily think he done that because you could not time that or aim that perfectly.
No, with the rear of the car. And I mean, hey, if you're on the racetrack while it's still hot,
Exactly.
I know, I understand, but
Well, about this time, Stephen Nasse pulls his car up and he goes to jump out, and security or police, whoever, just tackle him. I mean, they're like all over him. And Gio's just over there celebrating.
yeah.
Wow.
So what do you think about it?
Wow, yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad that Nassie's dad didn't get hurt because I mean, it really he ate the rear of the car there just right to the gut. But Nasse could have got to Rosario. It'd have been nasty for sure.
It would have been. But my problem is with this. Okay,
Well, that's not. You didn't even tell the end of it.
what was the end of it?
You didn't hear what happened to Nassie's or not Nasse, whatever team Rosario was driving for.
I didn't hear about it.
The hauler tires got slashed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, both of them. On
I didn't hear
two
about
different
that.
haulers. Tires were slashed.
Oh wow.
And we're talking 18-wheeler tires. We're not talking.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Phew.
I know Gio drove for. I don't know who he drove for in that race.
I don't know, but it was two big,
Yeah.
like stacker trailers like we see around here. And
Man,
somebody, obviously, I mean, I wouldn't say I don't think they ever found out. Obviously, whoever did it meant to not be seen, but you
Well,
could
who you
assume
think
that they
done
were
it?
at least a Nasse sympathizer, at least.
well, there
But,
was somebody in a race not long ago, and I want to say it was at I can't remember. Was it at Martinsville? Somebody threw something through a windshield of one of the RVs or something like that. Somebody's. Yeah, I don't know. But what's so funny about that is, to me and Sterling remember watching. Was it a snowball derby or a snowflake? Bubba Pollard dumped Nasse, wasn't it?
That was a snowflake, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, or somebody dumped Nasse. I think it was Bubba though.
I believe it was.
And
Or
no, it was Nasse dumped him. That's right. Nasse dumped Bubba Pollard because they ended up black flagging Nasse.
That's right. There
Yeah.
you go. That's right. Yeah.
So my thing is if you're going to drive like that, and I know that's been a couple years back or whatever, but if you're going to get a reputation of driving like that, how are you going to get mad when somebody He didn't take him out. He just doored him. I mean, that's all he did.
Nassie's always been aggressive like that. Always.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just him. We saw him down there in New Smyrna the same way.
Yeah. Yeah, he tore up Derek's back bumper. I mean, he just worked on his back bumper the whole time.
Constantly.
If he tried his hardest to, I ain't gonna say spin Derek Griffith, but if he would have spun, oh well, so be it.
Right.
I mean, that's just how Stephen Nassie drives. And I mean, there's something to say for that. Yeah, you want to be aggressive, good, but I mean, you can't be.
Well, if it happens to you, you got to.
Yeah, you got to say, oh well, part of it, I guess.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it. He don't see it like that, I don't guess.
Yeah. The hauler tire is what caught me off.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's messed up. That's a little too far.
Yeah.
Because
For sure.
this man is over here. I mean, I hate to say it, but we all know how it works now. Gio bought that ride.
Oh, yeah.
Team ain't had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Wilson Motorsports is what Landon said. But yeah, that's just, that ain't there. And especially the other hauler where it didn't have, carrying the other car, whoever else in the race. But
Yeah,
I'm sure wherever they were pretty far from home.
Oh yeah,
Up in-
probably so. And I can tell you firsthand, them those hauler tires are not cheap.
No, and not easy to change, I imagine.
I'm
But
hitting buttons over here. I didn't need to hit. Sorry. Yeah, that's an aggravation there. Donnie Wilson Motorsports. There we go. Glad Kevin keeping us up to date here. So, but in saying that, Stephen Nassie entered the.
both of them were actually in.
Yeah, both of them were
Tri-County,
at Tri-County at the Cars Tour, and I don't know the last time that Stephen drove a late model stock.
Might have been. Didn't you try the 400 or one of these big late model races last
He
year?
might have. I don't.
I know he
wasn't a 400.
So he was entered in the locked-in race, but he couldn't make it
Yeah.
after it got rescheduled. But
Yeah. I don't know. I don't, like I said, I don't really remember the last time he was in a late model stock, but he turned around and finished 5th in it.
yeah,
Boy is a wheel man.
for sure.
I mean,
He's
he can
good.
drive.
He's good in late model now. No doubt
That
about it.
boy can drive. I really think, and I hate to say this, I think he's a good driver, but I think his attitude, I guess,
Yeah, his temperament won't let him go no
and
further.
temperament has kind of stopped him. He really took on the whole Kyle Busch. I mean, he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he come along in the super late model as Kyle was kind of getting really popular in Cup and kind of had, the bad boy or whatever persona going on. Well, Steven was driving, what was the cars called? The Rowdy Engineering cars that they went back and changed the name a couple times. Steven was driving. So, I mean, he was around him, and I think he tried to play that role too. And in my opinion, at that level, it's just not the place for it.
It seems like he's gotten into it with a lot of people.
You got to be up a little higher in the rankings to have that Kyle Busch could do it because he's Kyle Busch and he made it to Cup and was winning races.
Yeah.
Yes. Steven also wins tons of late model races, and I think he's probably one of the best to ever sit behind the wheel of one. But I think you just limited yourself once you started doing that because there's teams that don't want to take that on going into it. All right, once you're there, you want to act like that, okay, you're kind of contracted, whatever, then at that point. But a lot of teams don't want to take that on going into it. So that was a wild one for sure. And we obviously missed last week, everyone. My sinuses had the best of me last week, and I figured everybody didn't want to sit here and listen to me cough for an hour. It was rough. I felt bad. So we did miss some stuff. Yeah, so I guess we need to go into, let me pull up, since we didn't talk about it last week, I need to talk about our iRacing from a couple weeks ago.
One more week to go.
Yep, we are getting down to the end here, and this is it's been a good year. We had Talladega the week before last on our Chicken Bone Alley Fall Spectacular presented by Fresh Chef. Guys, if you are in the area of a Fresh Chef, please stop by and get you a bite to eat. Man, I'll tell you, some of the best food there is out there in general. I mean, they just, man, everything I've eaten from there. I've had a ribeye, I've had prime rib, I've had shrimp and grits, I've had ribs. Man, they were so good, so good. So y'all stop in at a Fresh Chef in your area, especially in the Mooresville area. If you're up in that area, please stop by. Tell them we sent you. But we had Talladega week 4 last in our iRacing series there. So we that was an interesting race.
What? Yeah, it went pretty smooth.
Pretty smooth for Talladega. I guess we say it was a little on and off. Pack racing. We really didn't have a big one till kind of right at the end, I guess you say, and it still wasn't really that big.
5 or 6 cars maybe, but
there was a lot of team driving in it, which I expected. I really expected that. You kind of had
to shove the mess out of somebody to go anywhere.
Well, that's what I was fixing to say. For some reason, these cars on iRacing anyway tend to want to almost not necessarily a tandem draft, but you got to have a big push.
Oh yeah,
big push.
And 2 people can't go anywhere. You gotta have 3.
No, that's what I'm saying. You got to have at least 3. You ran pretty good.
We snuck out.
You snuck out a 5th place finish, I think it was.
Somewhere in there.
So that was a. Or wait a minute. Let me. Here we go. Now I got them all up. I hit the wrong button. I'm sorry, guys. You snuck out a 4th place finish, I think it was. Tim Paradiso won the race. Matt Pridge in 2nd. Landon Moody finished 3rd. Good job, Landon. At Talladega. We're going over a couple weeks. He said Knoxville was last week. Yeah, we're going over a couple weeks. We wasn't on here last week. Sorry. So how was your race? Since you're here.
It's pretty good.
Talk about Talladega.
Yeah. I was actually leading coming to the white flag and kind of got shuffled back there as usual. Talladega.
You feel like a sitting duck?
Kind of, yeah. There's kind of they kind of got, I don't know if they wrecked or just bounced off each other behind me, and it left me kind of way out too far. And so they kind of went, once they caught me, they freight trained me, but it was fun. Actually, really pretty smooth, good pack racing, 2-lane, 3-lane, pretty good. I'm glad I needed that to be good because I already had my 2 drop races pretty much that I didn't run good at, so I didn't have Talladega to spare, so I kind of played a little conservative, but glad to get a top 5.
Good deal. All right, now I'm going to go to, let's see. Since we're already talking about it, let's just go ahead and move into Knoxville. We went to Knoxville with these super late models. I was kind of scared, honestly, going into this race. I was like, this is either going to be a really good race or an absolute caution fest, and we run one lap, and then that be, constantly just one lap, caution. But it wasn't near as bad as I thought it was going to be. It actually turned out to be a pretty good
We had a couple
race.
cautions, but
a few cautions.
there weren't very many repetitive. It was kind of at least 10, 12 laps, and then maybe you have a caution or so. But
yeah, we had a good 20-lap run there, I think, in the middle of the race that made it a good race. Let me see here. I'm trying to remember. This thing says we had, let's see, 1, 2. We had 3 different leaders in it, I think it was. But the top 4 and 5 kind of shuffled around the whole race. Zach Stroop jumped out and led for a long time. He led for 51 laps total. And he had the lead coming to the white flag. Actually, they were running him and James Murphy ran side by side. Last few laps there, going back and forth. Zach had the lead.
Yeah.
Taking the white flag, comes out of turn 2. There's a lap car on the bottom. All right, I'm just going to call it how I saw it. I thought there was actually room for Zach to move up and go around him.
There was.
Maybe he just didn't want to mess up his line, but
Yeah.
I think it actually would have benefited him because he could have blocked James.
Yeah,
Could've
you know,
blocked his
it's kind of hard though. These
Oh,
aren't
it is.
point and go cars. You know, you can't hang it right on straight away like a asphalt lane.
No, you can't. You can't. But I just thought there was room that he could have slid
Yeah.
up there.
Nonetheless, probably the best race for the lead we've had
Yeah.
all season. One of the best, at least.
But unfortunately, Zach got into the back of the lap car there, and James was able to squeeze by on the outside, and James took him home another win, his second win of the year. Now we have had probably more winners in this season than I think we ever had, which is really good. We talk about Zach Stroop. Zach Stroop has won a lot of races.
Yep.
In our series, won championship in it. I think our first season, wasn't it? He won.
Lisa?
Yeah. These guys they're good.
Oh yeah.
And we're getting better and better talent in it because Tim's always been pretty good. Zach's always been good in our league, and now we got guys like James coming in, Matt Pridgeon coming in, Landon. Aaron Smith has come back after dominating a season few years ago on all the asphalt tracks, and he's ran really good, but I'm not going to say he's just dominated every race.
No.
He's been out front a lot of times. He's even been out front a few times on some dirt tracks.
Oh yeah.
So which was his downfall a few seasons ago, but he put the time and effort into it to really get good on dirt too. So
Sweet.
he ran really good the other night and was out front, and then track slicked off. That's a tough point. That's a tough point for everybody that don't run dirt all the time. Is when that track slicks off, you got to go just hunting and searching and figuring out your throttle control. How I know you didn't run too much dirt
No.
before you got in this league, I guess. I mean, I know you've ran some, but
Yeah.
how have you adapted?
Work on it. It's still aggravating whenever I kind of get a way to enter the corner, and I'll do it for 5-6 laps, and then that place slicks off for me sliding it in, and then it's like, oh, we got to find somewhere. So I kind of just try to keep it in between the walls and survive
that way.
Try to stay away from the outside wall, but I enjoy it. I know I'm not great at it, but I was fun, and it was kind of cool because I knew they updated the tire model and all, so there is some wear on the dirt tires now, especially heat wise. So I kind of see some of those guys were hanging it out a little too much. I kind of tried to keep it, right rear from spinning too much. I think I picked up a couple spots at the end that I wasn't faster than, but I just had a little more tires. So that was kind of thing I could use. So
it's part of it on a road race. Sure. So, like I said, James Murphy brought home the win at Knoxville this past week. Zach Stroop second, Matt Pridgeon third, Landon Moody fourth, and Aaron Smith coming home in fifth. Connor Snook had a sixth place finish there.
I could see Aaron, so I called it a good night.
There you go. Can't complain there. So now we move on to the final race of the season. I'm not necessarily going to say it's going to be one of the tougher races, but it might be one of the tougher races to pass somebody.
I think we're going to be real close in time.
We are, I think. We're moving to the late model stock cars at South Boston Speedway for 125 laps.
That we decided one set of tires. Or, one set in the pits.
One set in the pits. So you don't have to take them if you don't want them. I think you're going to want them. I think.
At least bump me up right front.
Now, if we get a late caution, I got to sit sitting in there, and everybody else goes take them. I don't know that I'd give up track position though.
Yeah,
depending on how late.
Yeah, and how much. If there's a point where if you burn that right front off too much, it ain't coming back.
I honestly, the way I do these every week, pretty much, is I'll try to run. If I can run an AI race on like late model stuff, I'll run an AI just so I know I ain't getting stupid people around me causing cautions and all that stuff. I tried it on one set of tires just to see what it would do. I blew the right front.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't just killing the car either.
Yeah.
So it is definitely going to wear the right front tire Now you can back off of it and not wear it as bad, but I think you're going to lose too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll be fast about 25 laps, and you'll see me drop an anchor, probably.
You did that where one time?
I did that at Dover one time.
Was it Dover?
Yeah, and they killed it.
Me and Sterling did that one time. I think we finished second, third there when the ARCA race one time. The leader was a lap ahead of us.
Yep. It sure was.
It was bad. So I really think this has potential to be a great race. It really does. Because you can work the bottom of the track. Because the line, in some races I've run, the line really can move up. You can make some time around the top of the track. Especially, I ain't gonna say all the way top, but a middle groove. You can make good time around on the middle groove. You can work the bottom, hustle the bottom, but you stand a chance of burning tires off of it. So I'm ready to see what everybody's gonna do. This is a track. It's what they call one of them self-cleaning tracks. Now, when one person spins out, it has potential also to catch everybody behind it because it's just a funnel right into it. Especially on, I don't know what it is about the backstretch on this place, but it seems like if you spin out of 4, somehow spin out of 2, you end up in 3, and everybody just comes comes right in there too. But the track kind of it kind of reminds me to some extent of Florence Motor Speedway, but with walls all the way around it.
Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite tracks.
Mine too.
Even though it's it's very tight and people run over each other, but
yeah,
I like it.
I do too.
It's a fun racetrack,
and I think I just drove it so much when I tell you how long I've been on iRacing. When I got on iRacing, you had to run the rookie legend cars. That's all you had to run. I mean, you had to run that to move on to anything. And they only ran 2 tracks. They ran South Boston and Lanier.
Yeah.
And that was all you could run. So for my first few months on iRacing, that's all I ran was them 2 tracks. So I ended up really liking South Boston. I think I got my first win, I think, at South Boston. So I like that track. I really do. Like I said, it somewhat reminds me of Florence Motor Speedway, just with walls all the way around. Mm-hmm. And I think that's one reason I kind of like it. Probably a little bit smaller, but still similar. You miss it yet, Sterling?
Oh, I miss it. I miss it all the time. I was thinking about it the other day because I love Homestead. I love racing Homestead on there. And, I was watching the race. I was like, dang, I kind of miss it. I wish I had the thing. Shoot. But, yeah, I definitely do. I'm sure it's progressed a lot.
Dude, I'm going to tell you, I don't think we can run with them.
Oh, I completely agree with you there. I don't
Connor,
know.
I can't hardly run with Connor.
I don't understand it. I honestly think that racing on iRacing is way harder than in an actual race car. I swear it is.
In some ways, it can be. I believe. I know a legend car is way harder on iRacing than it is in real life. To me, it is.
Yeah.
Them legend cars on there, just the rookie legend cars are almost more realistic feeling than the actual legends. To me, I don't know why. I just feel like they have zero grip.
Yeah,
and just spin constantly.
Right.
But yeah, I'm with you on some of that. There's a lot of it that's super hard to drive on there.
Yeah, for sure.
So ready to see who can take home the championship. $1,000 to win.
What's the points look like?
I think old Aaron's not got it locked up, but I think
he don't have it locked up.
He's got a pretty tight grip.
It wouldn't. Let's see. Standings right here. I got it right here. Aaron Smith is in first right now with 249 points. James Murphy is a close second, actually, with 242 points.
7 points.
7 points different. Landon's third with 234 points. So, and then on top of that, Zach Stroop, 230 points, and you are fifth with 223. So, technically, James has to finish 8 positions ahead of Aaron, with Aaron not getting any bonus points.
Or was that getting It's bonus points.
And the only way you can get bonus points for this one is qualify pole. So
That's gonna be tough.
It'd be 1 point.
Yeah.
Aaron is always fast on asphalt tracks on qualifying. So I almost expect him to kind of go out there and qualify pole. So with that being said, somebody's going to have to go out. James would have to go out there and finish
9 points ahead of him.
nine positions ahead, which I think is going to be tough.
Oh yeah.
But anything can happen. That's why we race the races. I mean, if something happens to both of them, Landon could come up there and take the championship still. I mean, he could because, I mean, he's let's see, 15 points behind. So as long as we have 16 cars in the race, he could.
Wrecks can happen.
Wrecks can happen.
Yeah, probably will.
And they will. They will. Nope, you are third there, Landon. Oh, wait a minute. I could be wrong. Hold on. I just hit standings. This thing, I love it sometimes. No, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I was right. You are third. I just want to pull her up here. I'm gonna make sure while we're sitting here talking about it. I'm gonna make sure, so I'm not sounding stupid. No, I was right. So yeah, ready for it. But like I just talked about, some of our friends in it. Want to go ahead and give a shout out to some of our friends over at SRI Performance, guys. If you're in the market for anything racing, don't care what it is, head over to check our friends out over at SRI Performance. I don't care if you're in market for safety equipment, if you're rebuilding this car, if you're in for performance parts, engine-wise, head over to SRI Performance and get all the parts you need. Head over to their website, www.sriperformance.com. Fill that card up, get everything you can in there. Put in that promo code CBONE, TNSC is in
Chicken.
BONE 10. Get yourself 10% off there at time of checkout. Same thing over with our friends at Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Y'all go check them out. I know some of you guys trying to put back together some especially them dirt cars over there, especially coming back from Eldora. We got to talk about that here in just a minute. So y'all get over there, get all your painted sheets of aluminum, everything you need to put them cars back together, make them look good. I don't care if you're rebuilding the whole car. They got all your structural type steel that you'll need to build a roll cage if you want to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Any other project you got. Good materials are hard to find, and they got all the good materials you need. So head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum to get all the good stuff you need. Also, our good friends at Earl Ramey Racing Engines. You need some power under your hood. Head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines. Get all the power you can stand for any application. I don't care if you're looking for crate motor, super motors, anything in between, they got you. So head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines, get you some time on that chassis dyno, and find out what can make the best power in your car today. One of the things going to make really good power, like I always talk about, Profab headers and exhaust, guys. Profab headers and exhaust, they are quality that wins. Man, I'm tell you, there's so many races out there, you see somebody that wins, and all of a sudden you look, they got a Profab sticker on the side of it. It's not a coincidence, I promise you. Not a coincidence at all. So y'all head over to Profab Headers and Exhaust and tell them we sent you. All right. There was we just talked about Eldora real quick. Let's go ahead and bring it up before we get into all the... So we got a lot to talk about with NASCAR stuff, so let's talk about Eldora. Did y'all catch any of it?
I heard a little bit about it. Is that the one where the guy ran out of gas?
Yes.
Okay. So I didn't know a little bit about it.
Dirt Track World Championship. Me and Sterling went to it a few years back when it was held at Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm.
Went over there with our buddy Kel Maven. Kel was up there this time at Eldora. This first year they were running Eldora as the Dirt Track World Championship. Also, first year, Lucas Oil adopted, and I'm just going ahead and say it, I don't like it. Their last race determined their champion.
Really?
The whole year.
NASCAR style.
Well, they didn't even do it NASCAR style. It was whole year, points. All of a sudden you had top four. Top four race for a championship in one race.
Phew, no.
Ricky Thornton Jr. was in first by like 200 points
God almighty.
going into the race.
Dang.
Slid in. The track was absolutely horrible. They ended up canceling. They canceled every night, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. Ended up running it Sunday because of weather. Wow. Saturday night they tried to run it. One of the steel block cars went in the corner, caught a rut, flipped the car like 3 times. And they finally just said the track was not safe enough to race. Moved it to Sunday. And track was just horrible. I mean, track was absolutely hard. After you get that much rain, and I'm not blaming it on Eldora.
No,
I mean,
you can't do nothing about
dirt track, you get that much rain, you might get the top hard, but up under the surface is still wet. And that's what happens. It just creates ruts in the track.
Breaks out chunks.
It does. And breaks out chunks and everything else. Well, one reached out and bit Ricky Thornton Jr. I mean, that's all that happened. I mean, he got in, tore up suspension on the front end, got into the wall, went back out, but just ran horrible.
Yeah, that sucks, man. That great year he had,
Dude,
just by that, especially the track. And I wasn't even, it ain't like they missed the setup. It's just
my thing
track.
is Ricky Thornton Jr. was 1,000 and some odd points ahead of 4th place.
And they put him back on even
Yeah,
terms.
even, dead even. No bonus, no nothing, just even.
When did it,
I mean, Cup.
obviously they made that up beforehand, right?
Yeah,
Before
they
the
made it
season
up
started.
going into the season. I mean, obviously
They knew
before the
it,
season.
yeah, but still, that just,
No.
I wouldn't want to be part of that, man.
They claimed that drivers voted on this. I said, yeah, I bet so, because somebody who thought they were a good
Fourth,
second,
fifth.
third place driver,
Yeah.
as long as I can get that last race, I got a chance.
That's right.
And now, granted, Hudson O'Neal won the championship. Hudson O'Neal's no slouch. Hudson won some races this year. Had a good year himself. I mean, even won the one at Eldora.
Dream or
The Dream, not the Dream. The World 100. Won the World 100. Had a great year. So, yes, congratulations to him.
he was still 200 points behind him starting this weekend.
Exactly.
I mean,
Nobody's won as many races as Ricky Thornton Jr. has this year. And I mean, I'm just like, that needs to count for something.
Oh, yeah.
In my opinion, it needs to count for something in NASCAR. If you're going to do this, if you're going to do this one race deal at the very end, you got to do it like NASCAR, in my opinion.
At least have
you got
some.
to have some rounds to kind of, that way there is some consistency rewarded.
yeah, a reset with the last few races,
Right.
whatever.
I wish NASCAR would make the final round 3 races of 5 races.
That's right.
I do too.
I don't understand.
I do
No other sport plays best of 5, best of 7 series. and then
We're
make
not
the
another sport, though.
Oh, I know, but if you could, if that's
It's
what they're
crazy
trying
to
to be
me.
like,
They want to be like them,
Yeah,
but they
same.
won't adopt like them.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I'm like, all
it
right.
needs to at least be 3 rounds.
Everybody deserves a
Yeah, but-
throwaway or whatever.
I
I mean, we look at baseball, though. I mean, baseball isn't one game and
no,
saying.
it was,
You know, not any sport that starts off
Yeah.
with the first rounds or 7-game series or whatever. You don't play the final.
football is the only one
Yeah.
that we watch here in America, I guess. That one game does it all, determines it all. But it's different. in my
You can't. Yeah, so you can't. There's no mechanical failures and.
No, exactly. I mean, you
I
got
think-
injuries, but
I think
you
it
got
should
a
at
whole
least be-
team there.
yeah.
right.
You ain't got one car that you're depending on.
So at least I feel like if you had a 3 race thing, you could promote it more. You know,
I do
we're the
too.
championship round. These are the 4 drivers. For the next
Yeah.
3 weeks, are going to be fighting for the championship.
I do too, but man, I did not like this Lucas Oil deal. One race, it just I was not a fan. I felt like, to me, Ricky Thornton Jr., yeah, he was a regular season champion, and to me, he should be crowned the champion because nobody had as good a year as Ricky Thornton Jr. had, and everybody knows that. But now Hudson O'Neal gets to claim, well, I'm the 2023 champion. I was hundreds of points behind,
Yeah.
but I'm the champion. I just don't like that. I don't know. I don't like it when it happens in NASCAR. I'm not going to like it right now. Let's say in NASCAR, if Christopher Bell goes up there and somehow knocks out a win at Phoenix now. I'm not saying he's not good, but I don't think he's been one of the best drivers all year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way.
And I know that's just the way it is. I mean, that's the way it is. And he's done good enough to make it to this round, but I'm not going to like it.
I just say that kind of devalues championships. I don't really.
It does.
It's more important now, I say, to have a 8-win season than it is to win a championship, because you can back your way into a championship.
My thing is now, and I know it's very unlikely to happen, you can come up like next year. Darlington's the last race of the season. Eric Jones can come up and win Darlington.
Very likely to happen.
Very likely to happen. He's going to be back in a Toyota, and I mean, I think they're going to have a good team next year. But anyway, he can come up, win Darlington, and somehow he can make his way up to the round of 8. And all of a sudden, I don't know what the round of 8 is next year, but I'm just, let's say Homestead. Let's just use Homestead for example. He can go out there and win Homestead all of a sudden and have a chance at winning
My thing
off
is,
of 2 wins.
I think the old points format wouldn't be. I mean, the cars are closer and race tighter together than ever now. The points would be pretty close.
It would.
But
I mean, I don't even necessarily care about the wins as much as the
No,
consistency.
I don't either.
I mean, if you consistently run top 5s all year long, but you don't win a race, and then you got all these guys that go and win, 16 guys that go and win a race, your
heard,
top 5 average don't mean nothing.
now I heard something the other day, and I know we're kind of jumping around from Lucas Oil to NASCAR and all stuff, but it's kind of interrelated with this system here. I heard something the other day, and it got me kind of thinking. I personally say do away with the win and you're in, because to me, somebody 25th in points with 1 win doesn't deserve to be in championship talk. But I also heard one the other day that said winning would be the only way to get in. And that was Chris Rice from what you call it? So,
I don't like that
Colin
either.
Grayson. I don't know if I like that though.
I
He said there shouldn't be any certain number of cars. It just would be whoever had wins throughout the year.
I don't like that.
That's who went in.
I don't know.
disagree with you. I'm just saying. So
Right.
I mean, it was another way of thinking. And I was like,
Well, like Ryan Blaney last year, I don't think he won a race, right? If I remember right. And he was up in the top 4 or 5 in points the whole year. This year, he's won 1 race, I think, right? I think he won Talladega.
Yeah.
he won Charlotte too.
Yeah, that's right. He did win Charlotte. That's how he got in.
Okay. Well, regardless, he seems very consistent. I don't know why. I don't know why I pay attention to him, but he seems to always be there.
Oh, he's a constant top 10 guy.
I mean, he is there every week.
Yeah.
I don't think it's right to put Ricky Stenhouse or somebody that take that away from somebody else.
That's what I was going to say. Look at Ricky Stenhouse. He won the Daytona 500.
And he ain't done nothing.
What did he do after?
Especially they keep adding more and more super speedways.
Yeah, and I mean, who were some of the first ones that got knocked out? Trying to think who was out of Chase Chase was farther back, I think. Who else got knocked out?
McDowell.
No, but McDowell was in because he had a win.
I know. I'm talking about other people that didn't make the playoffs.
I'm saying who didn't make the playoffs
Ty
right
Gibbs,
outside.
Ty Gibbs. People
Ty
like that.
Gibbs, yeah, Ty Gibbs. That's what I'm thinking of.
Well, I mean, I'd like
And
to see
to
the
me,
point.
Ty Gibbs has been way more consistent. I mean, he's not had great runs, but he's been way more consistent than Ricky Stenhouse was this year.
Yeah, I like to see the points lined up for average. Your best average finishers, how they accumulated points throughout the year, versus the ones that's finished 25th and 30th, and with had a wins.
Oh, I promise you, somebody's got it out there because Denny Hamlin pitched fit about it on his podcast a few weeks ago.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, because they were like, if this was the old Winston Cup points, he's like, what blankety blank does that matter? I mean, he's like, we're not going by them points. I got the click buttons here.
No, we disappeared.
We're still here. I promise, guys. We're still here. There we go. We're back. For everybody on Facebook.
Glad he knows what to do there because I've been like, but yeah, I mean, no, it's not the same. No, I get that. I get all of that. And I'm not saying the old way was better necessarily, but I just think it could be better than what it is.
I do too. I feel like it could.
Because, I mean, take Kyle Larson. He's great. Take William Byron. He's won, 6 races, whatever. He has something happen. He has a loose wheel at Phoenix. It's done. Like, don't matter. Don't make no difference about your all the things you've done all year.
And that is my difference in talking about the one game. They want to go up against the NFL. Okay, let's say whoever it is, say your quarterback gets taken out in the first. I mean,
you got 2 more sitting over there.
Exactly. That's my thing, is you got a whole team and you got 2 more sitting on the bench. You're going to bring one in, and you still have a chance to win this thing.
That's right.
In NASCAR or any other racing, Lucas Oil, you're out there in the first couple laps of the race, flat tire, into the wall, car's done.
That's right.
You have zero chance.
Or somebody gets into you, out of your control, anything like that. There's just too many variables to be able to do it like that, I think.
Me too. I like that. I'm like you, Connor. I wouldn't mind 3 races.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Because, I mean,
I like to see
typically who's
Bristol
consistent over 3 races is typically who was consistent.
Bristol, Charlotte, Phoenix, run that. Short track, 1.5 miles.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, dude. No, I know we talked a little bit about the schedule, but man, I am sick of Phoenix being the last race of the year.
Why don't they move that around? I don't get why that's got to be there.
Contracted right now.
I don't know, but it's horrible.
They must have paid some money to get
horrible
that.
race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never good.
Yeah. I wish it could just be a hat. Draw a hat. Draw out a hat, and that's where it's going to be every year.
Would you? Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our good friends from Dixie Made. Want to thank them, as always, for... Don't fall, Sterling. Don't fall. No, thank our good friends from Dixie Made. Our buddy Brandon Sawyer over there. Brandon ran on our iRacing league this year. First time since he said 2009, I think. Wow. He's been back on iRacing. So it's really cool to have him on there and with us. And but guys, it is getting that time of year to start some. I hate to say this. Start that Christmas shopping. Just let y'all know, Dixie Made has opened up their layaway plans for the year. So if you're over here in the Florence area, head over to Dixie Made right there by the Florence Flea Market, right beside them. So y'all head over there, get some of the coolest apparel you'll ever find. I put it this way, all the kids in school want it. I can tell you that. Connor don't see that because they got uniforms over there. But when I go pick Landon up from South Florence over there, that's every brand that's sold at Dixie Made. That's what them kids are wearing out there. So y'all head over to Dixie Made, get all the cool stuff that the kids want for Christmas. Put it on layaway if you need to. We know how that is. At Christmas shop can get expensive. Mm-hmm. So drop it on layaway and have it ready to go under the Christmas tree this year. I can't believe we're already talking about Christmas.
Yeah. It's end of October though. It's crazy.
I know.
Hard to believe there's only 3 races left in the NASCAR season.
2, yeah. 2.
Yep, 2.
2, Connor.
Wow. Yep.
He just lost a week. God, can't stand it. Also want to thank our friends over at Rev Max Racing Apparel. Want to congratulate, actually, Wesley Swetman for going out to the Keith Coons give back race. Finished second in the restricted micros out there. He led the majority of the race. Top kind of came in on him, and his car couldn't get quite up there, but had a super good run. So congratulations to Wesley out there with Rev Max Racing Apparel. Y'all head over to Rev Max if you're in the market for a new driving suit, gloves, all that fun stuff. Y'all head over to Rev Max Racing Apparel and get it hooked up today. Also, our friends over at MPM Marketing. Guys, if you are new, especially if you're new to the sport and you really want to go a long way in the sport, the only way to do it is with good marketing partners and good relationships throughout the sport. That is what makes racing what it is. You got to know who to know. And Tanya over at MPM, she knows everybody that you need to know. So head over to marketwithmpm.com, get set up with her today, and she will put you on the right track. All right.
What are we going to do about
Got all that
Gamecock?
out of the way.
What Gamecock?
This is the only thing I can say. At least Clemson lost 2.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll both be fighting for a bowl game.
Hey.
That ends.
They're what, 4-3?
That made the game that much
3
more
and 4?
interesting, maybe.
I don't think we're making a bowl game, even if we win.
No, I don't think so. We got what, 5 games left?
However many we got, I don't see.
Something like
I don't
that.
see 4 more winnable games. At
Well, I
this
was going to
point.
say,
No.
how many losing games do we
Well,
have?
then we got
left?
Jacksonville State. That's going to hopefully be a win.
Probably
I ain't
close.
promising.
But Kentucky, no.
Nope.
Kentucky good this year? I hadn't
They
watched
beat down
those.
Well,
Florida.
they always beat us for some reason.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
don't matter how they
understand.
do. Everybody else is.
So, yeah, but Kentucky, no. Texas A&M, nope. Vanderbilt, I don't know. I don't know.
Probably
bro.
a close game.
I think it'd probably be closer.
And then who knows about Clemson?
I was
But yeah,
listening to Beamer this morning, actually. He does a little conference call podcast. They put it out as a podcast. A&M's next. Yeah. Tough.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I kind of gave offensive line some junk the first of the year. I really did, because I thought that that's where we were getting beat at, and it was. We were getting beat on offensive line bad. I mean, they were just getting back. I think against North Carolina we had like 6 sacks or something like that.
had 5
Against it.
Saturday.
Yeah. Well, what Shane Beamer was talking about, they got 6 offensive linemen that were 5 were starters. They got 6 that are out with injuries. But in my opinion, that's no excuse for defense.
No.
We don't have a defense.
Yeah, there's
No.
not a single functioning side of the ball without some major flaws.
No.
I mean, I think we have a decent quarterback.
Well, yeah.
I think we have some decent receivers. And I think we have some decent running backs. I think on the offensive side of the ball, I think we're decent. I haven't found anywhere we're decent at on defense yet.
No, not at all. But I mean, it all starts with the offensive line for
It does.
sure,
It does.
no doubt. But I mean, they can't run block. So
No.
they can't run the ball. They can't pass block.
yeah.
So we can't pass the ball. Like, there's nothing there.
Everybody just blitzes.
That's,
the house
yeah,
on
they
us.
know
Yeah.
that. That's all they got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you go. If you score 39 points or whatever it was against Florida, that's no reason you lose a football game.
No, they should not have lost that game.
That makes no
They
sense.
shouldn't have lost that game. They shouldn't have lost against Missouri.
It's just,
And that's my thing is, how do you go play that close against Florida, but your defense just let you completely down? But then Missouri, I ain't saying Missouri's bad,
No, they're pretty good. It's just
but I didn't think they were Florida good. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm wrong.
they
Maybe
probably
I am.
are, but
They- this year maybe.
they're
So,
just
Yeah.
better everywhere. Florida at least didn't have a good defense either.
Yeah.
Missouri.
Florida turned it around though. Florida was horrible last year.
Yeah, but it's like I don't understand how the Gamecocks in general. It's always been this way. It seemed like it's just we play to the potential of our opponent
Oh, yeah.
a lot of
You
times.
play up and down.
but like you go, when we won 3 quarters against Georgia.
Yeah.
Where's that team?
What happened? I don't get it. I don't know. It's so frustrating though. But that's a part of being a Gamecock
That's the
fan.
life we live, ain't it?
Glad these new Clemson fans have understood what we're going through.
Exactly.
Them bandwagon Clemson fans that jumped on during the national championship season, they understand what we're going through now.
They're struggling too. I mean, and honestly, the games that they've lost, they've literally, I think they've won. They've won in
At least
play. I mean, like
at least they've been close.
they've really played better than their opponent. And then I don't know.
I saw Dabo was mad at Cade for that second overtime play where it wasn't RPO, especially just run the ball, and he pulled it back and tried to make something happen and went nowhere.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Yep, rough year for South Carolina sports in general.
well,
for
that's-
football
that's-
at least.
That's what happens when you let off on recruiting when you got your good team there, and you don't want to jump in on the NIL deals. And I get it, I understand it, Dabo, but he was the last one to the table on the NIL stuff. He still don't like it. I don't like it, but
You got to do it.
You gotta do it.
I mean, if you're going to play. But I do like the fact, though, that there's a whole lot more better teams. It didn't just Alabama and Georgia every year. I do like that. So,
how's Coastal doing? Anybody check on them?
Couldn't tell.
I know they beat App State 2 weeks ago at App State, which is like a huge win for them.
They played UCLA this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they played UCLA like pretty close.
I thought so.
They had to go all the way to California.
Right. That was
I don't understand. I asked about the weirdest non-conference game, like
Didn't really
East
make
Coast
sense.
against absolute West Coast. But
But yeah, that was pretty wild there for sure. So I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see. We got a question here real quick. Kevin Poston asked, do people still run built motors in late model? Back in my day, it was Harold Eatman, Joe
Stedmeyer.
and the Harringtons and Upchurch. They went to Harrington's Upchurch. Do they still run crate motors? No, there's a lot of built. There's a lot of built motors. Late model stock pretty much is all built motor.
yep. You'll see a crate motor slip in every now and then for a big race if they want to save some tires. But
if it's a tire conservation track, you'll see a crate motor go in there. But if it's one of them just a fast track, most of them got built motors. Also the Harrington Enforcer deal. That's a big deal right now. Been a lot of rules actually made around that this year because they were so fast. Upchurch still doing good work too. But yeah, there's still a lot of built motors in late model. A lot of motor game there still
everywhere.
All right, so we got some NASCAR to talk about here. I know we just felt like we just went in over it, but we didn't. So we had Homestead this past week. I thought it looked like going to be a Toyota day for a long time there. And it ultimately was, but I don't think that really told the tale of the day.
Not when Larson can go up there.
That's what I was fixing to say, because from the drop of the green flag, all of a sudden you saw Kyle Larson marching to the front, and he got out front and stayed out front until the end of one long run. He dropped back.
He had like a 4-second lead.
Yeah, and he dropped back, and Blaney beat him.
Yep.
For that one stage. But I think he could have got back up there. I really do. Then he stepped on it, as they'll say. He says they went to go in the pits. He says he did not expect Blaney to slow up as much as he did. And that's really what it looked like. I don't know if it looked like that or he just really overcooked it into the pit.
I don't see him slowing down enough. He had too much speed, I think.
It's so hard to tell from TV. I don't know what is.
But from where the front of Blaney's car was and the rate of speed he was going,
it looked like it was.
I don't see how he could have slowed down enough.
It looked like
and not sped.
Yeah, it looked like to me Kyle was trying to get just all the,
he was making up that,
trying to make up that gap.
He wanted to be on his bumper going
into the pits is what it looked like, and it looked like to me he just overcooked it into it, and he should have. In my opinion, now he might have spun out, but he should have turned to the left instead of to the right.
Anything but where he turned to.
That could have been really, really bad.
I think those barrels really.
And he kind of deflected off of them, because it could have, if he'd have hit that thing head on, even at 55 mile an hour, that's just a dead stop.
Yeah, that's bad.
But he hit the barrels at the end of pit road. Man, all right. My question about that is to y'all is, he already knew he was going to go into Phoenix. Do you think you should be pushing it that hard at Homestead, or why not? Or why?
I think that was the only time. The rest of the day, it looked like to me he kind of was being a little conservative. I think he just that one time try to make up a lot of ground, and if he, maybe if he 12 wouldn't have been there, he made up a lot of time and he'd undercut the 12 on pit road, but I don't know. People say you don't want it, but I think carrying momentum is also very important. I've seen sometimes where people will win, what was that, Las Vegas last week?
Yeah.
But then the next two races are nowhere to be found, and so even though they're the first one locked in the championship, they don't have any momentum, and I don't know, just don't seem to run as good at Phoenix. I think momentum is pretty important. So
Yeah.
Like,
I think Kyle Larson wants to win every time he gets
no
in a
matter
race car. I think that's what it is. Honestly, I think he just gives it all he can every time he's in there. He just gave a little bit too much. But I don't see Kyle Larson being a rider.
no,
I don't.
I don't think that's his MO.
No, like I don't see him being a good team sport. Like far as
I don't think Kyle Larson's actually. I mean, I like him a lot. I don't think Kyle Larson is what we call a team player.
right, a team
Really?
player. Right. I don't see that. Like if
And I don't know that I blame him.
if they're in a team meeting on Tuesday and they say, "All right, Kyle, this weekend I need you to run 10th." No, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I'm not. I could see that.
He seems like the guy to me, even if he was out of the race at Phoenix, and he's out front, he's not moving over for his teammate to win.
No, sir.
No,
sir. I and that's how it should be, I think. But yeah, I just like you said too. I think momentum's a big thing. If they could have picked up a win here and he won at Martinsville earlier in the year, go win there, like let's go. Let's just dominate the rest of the last 4 races of the year. I don't know.
he hasn't. Okay, in history, yes, he won championship at Phoenix, obviously, but he didn't have a good day that day.
No.
His team got him out first on the last pit stop, and he was able to just hold everybody off
Right.
for the final. What was that, green white checker? I think it was, or maybe 10 laps, something like that. It wasn't many laps to go. Being that that's the case, do you think you're looking for that much more momentum rolling in there, or I don't know? Do these guys? I hear a lot of these guys, man, they've got their Phoenix car already wrapped up, it's ready to go. I don't know. I don't know what the program is over it. We probably could talk to our buddy John Rosario. He probably could tell us a little bit more about that program, how that goes over there.
Well,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, you got to make it to Phoenix, obviously, but these big teams, they're preparing for Phoenix at the beginning of the season.
Yes,
no doubt. I mean, I think the 88 car for Hendrick is a test car. I think they are doing everything they possibly can. Because why is it? Why is this car so far off the other car?
out of 48.
48. Sorry, not 88.
No,
it was 88.
Yeah, it was.
I was confused.
It was 88. Yeah, you're right.
But Bowman, he looks like to me he is getting paid to test every week.
He didn't look good this year. That's for sure.
It's weird.
It's weird. I don't get it.
I didn't think he was a superstar driver, but he was.
I mean, one race.
He did have a strike where he was really good,
Yeah, maybe he
been
just
really
had an
good.
off year. I mean, I'm with you.
I don't know. It just seems weird. Chase Elliott. I mean,
He's looked horrible this year.
Yeah, but really, since the playoffs started, you ain't seen him much in the top 10.
Not at all.
No, really.
But the 5 and 24, they're up there every week.
Yep.
So I don't know. But they're definitely preparing. Those cars, I'd say, are definitely ready. I'm sure they're going to try to figure out any little thing they can. Because just like with dirt racing or any racing, if you take a break for a minute, you behind.
That's right.
So I'm sure they're trying to do something to improve. But I don't know. Christopher Bell impresses me though. Like last year, he had to go win it.
Yeah.
He's there. Like I don't get it.
He might very well win this championship.
I mean,
I could see it.
He didn't have a good car yesterday.
No.
And he was running 18th, 19th. And I looked, I was like, okay, well, he's pretty much done. Good Lord, where'd he come from?
I picked him out of the
I
way.
was fixing to say, Connor.
That should be
Well,
worth.
I saw what happened.
That should be worth
Yeah.
at least like 7 or 8 points in my opinion.
I mean, you need some bonus points. We'll get into that. You need some bonus points. I ain't gonna lie. I need some bonus points, but yeah, like Sterling said, Christopher Bell won. If you hadn't heard, Denny Hamlin, terrible run, got in the wall, tore his car up.
I like that, by the way.
I don't know. I just
Something broke in the steering, isn't that what they said?
yeah. Once he hit the wall, he tore something up in the front end. I had Martin Truex. He we do blow motor.
Did he?
I don't know.
I don't know. He was fast qualifying.
Stupid fast and qualified. And then he to the back. But anyway, like you said, Christopher Bell, I think can he's got potential to make it happen. So real quick here on our picks. Like I said, Connor had C-Bell. He brings home the points for this week for the win. Sterling had you had
William Byron. Yeah.
Yep, Willie B. He brought you home second. And I had Truex, and I came home third this week. But in saying that, I don't think I marked Connor's win here. Let me mark Connor as a win there. So when you get that tie, we can tiebreaker with it. I just want to know how I have the most wins in the playoffs, and I'm still as far behind in points. But anyway, Sterling is out front with 21 points. I'm in second with 17 points, and Connor is in third with 13 points.
Wow.
So basically, I need Sterling to finish last, and I have to win the next 2 weeks.
So it can't happen.
It can't happen, I don't think. Did you lock it up already?
Hold up.
Did I?
Let's see. You're going to get 2 points at minimum. So that puts you at 23 points. If I get 3, that's
if you get 6 more,
20.
It's 23.
We would tie.
Ooh, so it's got to finish
And
last.
as of right now, I would have tiebreaker, and that would give me the tiebreaker.
Wow.
You got to finish third. The only way I can
You got to
right
win
now,
out.
I've got to win out
Well,
for the rest of the season.
Connor, I don't know. There's much hope for you, though.
I don't believe so.
You can tie me if I finish last. You can tie me. All right. So with that being said, I got to pull out my big stuff here. And what's
Forget you got Phoenix now.
well,
You better
that's the
save
thing.
somebody for
Well,
Phoenix.
I can't because I got to
So you
pick
gotta
a winner here, and it's the only way I can do it. So I'm gonna pick the man that I think is always pretty good at Martinsville. He's got to win to get in. I'm going with Denny Hamlin.
Oh, Hamlin.
I think he's got a chance.
Well, that's his home track or whatever, I guess, pretty much, right? Or
Got a few with him, don't he?
Yeah, well, Richmond and there. I don't know. He's got them all. But well, I don't know, man. I pretty much used up all the good ones. So Phoenix, I'm gonna be kind of screwed. But hey, if I finish at least second this week, right?
Yeah, you finished second. You locked it.
Okay,
Locked it
so
up.
I'm gonna try to just go a little aggressive here on that. I'm gonna go with Ryan Blaney. I think he's gonna do what he's got to do to get the advancement.
We can put these over here now. Get them out your way.
Let's see here. 2 races left. Well, he won there in the spring, and I still got him somehow, so I might as well use him. So I'll take old Kyle Larson this week.
There you go.
Sweet.
Can't go wrong with him anywhere.
No. Yeah, I was fixing to say you could
There ain't
pick
no
track, put his name.
I don't think he's gonna hit the end of the pit road there. You ought to be all right.
I hope not. If he does, he had a bad day. He might as well go home anyway.
There we go.
All right. Well, there we go. Got our picks. I take, recapping real quick, I take, who am I taking? Oh, I'm taking Denny Hamlin. Sterling is taking
Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. And we got Kyle Larson for Connor over here going into Martinsville. Last race of the season. It's a tight battle.
Hey, maybe our stuff will end up like the real points. It'll go into the last race.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. All right. So in saying that, we got Martinsville coming up, obviously. What's your real, I guess, predictions for that race?
Well, I mean the top 5, 6 in points are going to be probably the top 5 and 6 running up. That seem. I mean that's at least that's accurate now. I don't know. I think Denny Hamlin is definitely a good pick. I think he's going to be pretty strong there. He seems
He knows
to,
he's got to win. I mean, he don't have any other option.
I mean, last year,
He can't point his way in.
Didn't he get knocked out last year?
He can theoretically point his way in, but it's very not likely.
Right. He's like 17 points behind. But didn't Chastain knock him out?
Chastain
Yeah,
wall
Chastain
ride.
knocked him out doing the wall ride.
That's right.
I hope he does it again. Just
Me too.
cause.
It's illegal now.
We'll
Still be funny.
do it. I want to see him do it one full lap with it. Do it.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it in
Just
both
hold it
corners.
on the
Yeah.
Wide
Throttle hung, guys. Sorry.
180 mile an hour around Martinsville.
Man, I remember watching that live. It was like, what in the
That
world
was
just
awesome.
happened?
I thought it was a fast forward. What the world? But I think he's going to be strong there for sure. Like we said, Kyle Larson won there. He's going to be trying to have that momentum. Don't really know. I'm not real sure about William Byron. I don't know how well he performs Martinsville. I'm not real
He's done
sure.
pretty good at Martinsville.
But he's going to have to be up in there because it's what.
I think he can.
I think he's
He just
pretty
needs a
far
good
ahead.
day.
Yeah.
He needs good
He's 30-something points, I think. To
to the good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he's almost locked in. I think if William Byron will just get some good stage points, and I don't know if I like this stage point stuff. I'm in the playoffs. I don't mind it all year.
Well, I think that's why Kyle Larson slowed down 4 seconds to give that one extra playoff point.
Yeah.
Because one position.
Yeah.
Prime example, Denny Hamlin last year.
Exactly.
If that would have happened to him, if he'd have got that one extra point
Playoff
at Homestead, he'd have had it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, they thinking about that stuff. I'm telling you, that's what happened.
Oh well,
So,
I've been listening to the guys here lately. They are more worried now about stage points almost than they are finishing points.
Mm-hmm.
Because they know as long as if they can get up there in the top three, especially in the stage, man, that's a lot of points.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, considering the way that in these playoffs
it's worked,
how
right.
close it is, that's a lot of points. So if William Byron goes out there and busts off a second place finish in the first stage,
9 points. I mean,
he's essentially got it locked up.
Right.
I mean,
that's all race ahead. Yeah.
exactly. I mean, all he's got to do is just have a clean race after that.
So William Byron is third he's 30 points to the good. Blaney is 10 points to the good. Tyler Reddick is 10 points out. I don't know how he'd be there either. I'm not sure, but Truex 17 points out. Denny Hamlin 17. Chris Buescher's got to win. He is 43 points out.
I think Chris Buescher's probably done.
Yep.
His time kind of. I mean, he's still running decent, but he just
had a real couple races.
Yeah, and you can't have him right now in the season.
No.
You can't have bad races. Obviously, Denny Hamlin cannot have bad races.
So who's your final four?
I think my final four, I think, is the four that's sitting there right now.
So you think Blaney gets in, Hamlin's out. Why'd you pick Hamlin then?
because I know it's either Denny has to win,
Right.
I know he's going to go for it.
Right.
But I could see this being the one race. All of a sudden, Alex Bowman comes up here and
Could very well be.
wins the race. Denny Hamlin finished second to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And which would work perfectly for Hendrick Motorsports.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I think Denny Hamlin's going to do everything, but I think just because it seems like every time you tell somebody they have to win, it's just like
A lot of pressure, man.
it puts pressure on. And I ain't saying it because he's done it before, and he may do it.
They
That's
can
why I
do it.
picked him. That's why I picked him.
And I agree. Christopher Bell did that last year at Martinsville. Like,
Exactly.
how'd he do it?
Christopher Bell typically isn't that good at that.
That's right. How'd he do it?
So I don't know. What you think?
I think Reddick might sneak in above Blaney. Really, I don't know. I feel like Blaney's not always great there, even though he's been consistent mostly. I don't feel like he's usually great.
Yeah.
Martinsville.
I look back. He finished 7th earlier in the year, which is probably his
that's
best
solid.
finish
Yeah.
at Martinsville. But I mean, 7th probably ain't gonna cut it.
I feel like Reddick can.
I mean, he's 10
Find some
points.
speed.
He's 10 points behind, and like y'all said too,
In my opinion,
playoff points
Yeah.
or stage wins, stage points is gonna mean everything right here.
Yes.
Because if he gets 18 stage points, if he finishes second in both stages,
And that's what they're going to do.
that's 28 points. You know what
They're
I'm
going to
saying?
do everything they can to go for stage
Right.
points. Which isn't so much different at a place like Martinsville because people aren't, let's say like Talladega, people were coming in 3 laps early
Right.
just because they wanted to get back up front after the stage.
Go out now doing that.
You're not going to do that at Martinsville. You got to have a good car to get good stage points. But I also, like you just said, I could see Tyler Reddick jumping up there and winning it.
Oh yeah, and the strategy is a lot different too because there's only 2 winners, so we got 2 positions. So some of these guys that can point their way in, they may not go.
Byron's going to go for a consistent day. I don't think he's going to go for anything just stupid. He could care less if Denny Hamlin wins the race as long as he's right behind him.
That's right. That's all he needs to do.
Exactly.
I mean, he's got a pretty good cushion.
Blaney don't want anybody else to win that race. Blaney's got
Blaney pretty much.
I think from Blaney to Busher has to win.
Yeah.
To get in. Now, I mean, obviously somebody's going to get in on points, but I think that easily could be William Byron.
Oh yeah.
Right. I think that's your pointer there. But hey, we'll see.
We shall. All right, let's go ahead. Since we just picked who'd you pick for Final Four? Did you pick your Final Four?
Oh no, I think it's still like it is. I mean, obviously I picked Ryan Blaney, so I feel like Ryan Blaney's gonna make it happen somehow.
I'll pick people I don't think will win. I don't care. I don't care.
It's fine.
It's fine. Oh God. Oh, so all right. So right now, pick champion.
Champion.
Yep. We'll go back and I might write these down. I'm gonna
say Byron.
Willie
He just
D.
seems. I don't know. He seems pretty good. Seems like he's pretty much winning a race every 3 or 4 races at this point.
And I don't care if we pick the same person there.
That's what I got too. I think
There you
they seem to somehow or another always be there.
go. Oh yeah.
I'm going to take some low hanging fruit here. I think Kyle Larson is going to get him.
I hope you're right. I really do.
I think
Larson is the only negative thing I see about Larson is he is like all or nothing.
Well, but I'm going to tell you something, and I know you were talking about earlier, talking about consistency, kind of everything. You like consistency, like momentum going into it. And yeah, I don't disagree with you. But if any driver, it seems like momentum doesn't matter to me, is Kyle Larson.
Yeah, I agree.
Kyle Larson can have a bad race, and I think he forgets it before he gets out the race car.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just that one guy that can do that.
Yeah.
Not many people can do it. It's hard for me to do it. I'm carrying it to the next one because I know what I want to do better than. It's like that dude, once he gets out of a race car, he's done. He's done with that race right then. I don't care if he wins it, finishes dead last, he is done with that race. He's moving on to the next one. So I agree with you, but I don't think that affects him quite as much. So I think coming off of this week, how probably was more embarrassed than anything.
Yeah.
Done that. I still don't think he really cares. I think he'll move on to Martinsville and be fast, even though he does not like Martinsville. It's too quick. He doesn't like Martinsville. That's not his good track. He says you would think short tracks would be his thing, but it's not.
Well, he won it. He won it in the spring. So.
He did. He did. And I think he has full potential to do it again. But he just tell you that's not one of his good tracks. He don't like any of the short tracks on the NASCAR schedule.
I tell you, watching him at Wilkesboro, you'd think he liked it a little bit.
Exactly. I'm like, I think you're fooling yourself there, buddy. Yeah. All right. Well, what else we got? Florence Motor Speedway running this week. You gonna run?
I doubt it, but I'll probably go over there.
I doubt it.
You run anything?
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
We're actually going to, Sterling brought his hog cooker over here for us. We are cooking, me and my dad and another guy from church. We got to be at church at 4 o'clock on Sunday morning to cook a hog, or cook 2 hogs, I think. So I think I'm on, even if I go over there, I might get out there a little early.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
For that. But I just, it's kind of, it's that, what is it, the the 250 race or whatever.
Oh, the PD 225.
Yeah, PD 225, and I just I like Florence Motor Speedway. I'm not dogging them or anything, and I think they're doing great. I just have no desire to go run with some of them that's going to run. Right. I'm going to tell it like it is. Because the last couple times that we've had big legend fields, it's kind of turned crazy.
Yeah.
So, and I tore up. Last time I was at Florence, I left out of there on the hook. Which is the only time I've left anywhere on the hook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Only time. Well, I say that. Not in go-kart racing. I wreck many go-karts. Yeah. I wreck many go-karts. But other than that, yeah, it's the only time I've ever not been able to drive one back to the pits. So, Connor said, wish I could say the same.
Yeah, I don't have many. I don't know. I'm trying to think. There ain't a whole lot.
Yeah, one at first this year. I don't know how you didn't wreck it. The legend car.
Oh,
when the rear end broke out.
Yeah.
Bolt broken rear end. So, anyway, all right.
I'll go make some laps. Get ready for tomorrow.
There we go. Y'all come watch on Talking Dirt on Facebook. We'll be running. Like I said, I'll be on there announcing. Connor will be running with all our good buddies. Running at South Boston in a late model stock car for the final race of the Chicken Bone Alley Fall Spectacular. Then we can get to thinking about what we're going to do next.
Yep.
I'm debating. I'm still debating whether.
I'm thinking next season we should just make some schedules and vote it as a schedule as a whole.
There we go.
Instead of
I
just
like
pairing them up.
I like that.
But
sounds good to me.
It's up to the commissioner, of course.
I'm not a commissioner. I just put it all up there. I just put it up there for vote. That's all I do. So anyway, guys. All right. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate all our support on here. SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel Aluminum, Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, Dixie Made, MPM Marketing, Rev Max, and of course Fresh Chef for helping us out this year and sponsoring our Fall Spectacular on iRacing. So anyway, guys, appreciate y'all hanging out this week. And I reckon I will see y'all next time. Y'all have a good one.
See you
Later.